So one of the biggest talking points of the Fever start of the season is the current health of Sophie Cunningham. And also, I don't really know the exact health of Damiris Dantas. Like, the Fever could be very, very short-handed in his first game against Chicago Sky if Dantas is hurt as well. But today we're going to be talking a little bit about Sophie Cunningham. And also, someone sent me some of these. I don't know if the person who sent me them wants to be mentioned, so I'll leave it at that until they say it. But really do appreciate it. We've got the Every Game is a Home Game Fever t-shirt right here. All shipped in Ireland, where they did not send them to Ireland. So thank you to the person who sent me them. And obviously I will shout them out individually if they want it. I just don't know whether or not that's the case, and I don't want to do that if they don't want to. Whatever. We'll just get talking about Sophie Cunningham. So Sophie Cunningham is a big, big part of the Indiana Fever. And if you're looking at underdog, there's no it's like game time decision. A lot of people, obviously Leonie Fever only showed up today, I think. It's her first practice was today, and we were like ruled out. People are probable, doubtful. There's nothing about Sophie Cunningham. There's nothing on a Sophie Cunningham injury report. So what they have done is they have kept it ultra secret. They've kept the Sophie Cunningham injury report incredibly secret, and fair enough. Honestly, fair enough. That's all I will say is that, like, I understand when teams when they don't want to kind of overshare an injury report, especially obviously because you're playing against the team the following day. You don't want them to know what's going on. But we saw today, and we saw this clip right here. If you guys didn't see, Sophie Cunningham shooting a full court shot or a half court shot, winning the contest. And for somebody who shoots from as deep as Caitlin Clark does, she's really bad at shooting from half court. Caitlin lying on the ground right there. She seems absolutely fine. But I'm going to be honest, I still don't know. Everyone being like, oh, that she's going to play. From Stephanie White, this is what we have heard.
Sophie made the half-court shot, and she said, I told you guys I'm ready to play. Like, do you anticipate her playing tomorrow, or what's her status?
I mean, you take off 3 days of practice and then come and try to get the money on a half-court shot. I think that's a little fraudulent. I don't know. I think that she's made great progress. I think the biggest thing is perspective, right? Like, we don't want to do anything that will set her back, that will hinder her progress. I think we have, 6 games in the first 14 days. So we'll be cautious. The last 48 hours have been really good. So the training staff will look at her in the morning, and then we'll make a decision from there.
So I think even if she plays, she's going to be very limited. And I'd rather them, I would rather them be cautious. I'd rather see the Fever be as cautious as possible. But that's the thing when it comes to this. They are going to be cautious. Not only are they going to be cautious, they're going to look for the totality of the season. Look, this is an NBA training staff. There are plenty of, you've heard it from NBA players. So many NBA players have been told, just to, I've been told that, oh, we're sitting out this game, or they'll go in and they'll get told by the training staff, you are missing this game, you're coming back on this date. Like, it realistically is, that's the case. Obviously, I want to see what people are thinking. This is BS, not sure why overcautious team is not the soft. It's not about being soft. Hold the line. Sophie's so competitive, you got to protect her from herself. Her ankle isn't a problem for an uncontested shot. It's her defense that'll really test the ankle. Hate the risk setback where we don't have her for the Liberty game on the 24th. And, look, I see both sides to it. Obviously, she wants to play. It's a little fraudulent. Literally laughed aloud when Steph called so fraudulent. She hates that she made the shot because how can you not play her after that celebration? At the same time, caution name the game. And yeah, Steph Reed doesn't want Sophie to play the first couple of games. I don't think it's on Stephanie White. I think it's on the coaching staff. And I think the Fever, I don't think this coaching staff is expecting to be a top 3 seed this year. I think home court advantage is what they're going for. And I actually, especially in the WNBA playoffs, because it's about peaking at the right time. Because every round increases in games. Like, every single round. So it goes best of 3, best of 5, best of 7. So it's about peaking at the right time. That's kind of everything. It's all about peaking at the right time. And I think that's just the way that she's can't read her yet. That's the thing. I think she's not going to play. Said the same thing about Caitlin the day before the Iowa game. They'll try not to play her, but might bring her in if they need her. That's a good thing. And I never understood when it's like, you know what, we kind of don't want to risk you. Because obviously in the NBA, stats matter for contracts, where they're like, oh, why, if a player is good to play 10 minutes a game, why they will, if they're not able to play, say if they're a 30-minute a game player, but like, they should be okay to play 10 minutes. Why they'll be like, you know what, we'll sit you out for conditioning reasons, or we'll sit you out for rest. You know what, you're good for 10, you're fine for 10, but you know, we need to get your stats up. You're normally playing 30 minutes. Like, that's one thing I never understood, is like, if someone's fine for 10, play them 10. Like, I never understood that with Embiid. They were like, you know what, Embiid, if he plays more than a certain amount of minutes, his knees just start to swell. I'm like, just play him under the certain amount of minutes that his knees start to swell then. But, yeah, it's just a weird situation when it comes to teams. But so it's very, very clear that Sophie Cunningham wants to play this game. It's very clear Sophie Cunningham, like, I don't know how many more like fiery competitors there are in the WNBA than Sophie Cunningham. Like, she's at least in the conversation for one of the most fiery competitors. Like, Caitlin's there. Obviously, look, she was Diana Taurasi's. She was the young player playing under Diana Taurasi. Like, as much as people want to call Caitlin the next Diana Taurasi, we can't forget Sophie Cunningham was the young player who was almost, not in terms of basketball wise, but in terms of attitude, almost a freaking mini-me of Diana Taurasi. She was, I'm not even going to call her the enforcer. She was the instigator of that Mercury team. So it's very clear that she wants to play, and I do think that it's going to be a really interesting one to see just all around what's going to happen. And obviously, look, today is a big game. Today's a big day. The WNBA season starting, and tomorrow's the first game of the season. They're playing the Sky, but at the end of the day, the most important games are in September. Everything up to September, it matters. Doesn't matter nearly as much as in September, and you want to get to October. If you're the Fever, if you're the Fever, you want to get to October, and beating the Sky in May, it helps set you onto a good foot, but there's a lot more important things. So anyway, yeah. What do you guys think? I think she probably doesn't play. And even if she could play, but they're like, oh, you know, if she plays this game, it's probably, we never know. You never know. She should be okay. She might be okay. If that's the case, I would have her in uniform and then just play her 0 minutes. Give her a DMP coach's decision if you want. But if she needs to play her a few minutes if you need to play her. If you don't need a player, you can leave her on the bench. That would be my ideal scenario, but look, I don't know what Stephanie Y's thinking. But anyway, that's the video. I'll see you guys.